It's another Who's the Country Cousins. This is your boy Dub,
This guy, Billy Flacco,
a.k.a.
Crab Meat.
a.k.a. Jameis Winston. We also joined by
D314,
a.k.a.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
First and foremost, you don't even never need to raise your voice into the microphone.
Ever. With that amp in your throat.
Goddamn boom cannon. You just fucked up everybody's ears out here in the listening world.
They bleed.
You welcome.
Poverty. I don't even know my worst poverty story. I mean, my dad was on drugs for a while.
No, hey, come on. Your dad was the GOAT, though.
He was the GOAT, but he went from serving to using. And when he started using, I know the worst memory I had was this motherfucker running down the street with the TV.
Wait, what?
I don't even want to laugh at this.
No, like, you know, when you find out what drugs do to a family, like, you know, the shit that you see in movies where it decimated community, all this shit. Like, I guess I did. You know, you're too young to know what drug use look like at one stage of your life.
Right.
So after my mom kicked him out, and then he came back, he was clean for a minute, but then boom, he was on it. One morning we woke up, we were awakened to him running out the house. You know, we just heard my mama yelling, thought that they was gotten into it, because, you know, that's what black couples used to do. Used to fight, didn't call the cops. So he was running, then we realized, oh shit, the TV gone. So
On his back.
on his back, the old school TV.
That motherfucker was strong.
So then we go to school, we come back home. He came back and just ran through the crib. Anything electronic, right? So that shit, I mean, all the shit fucks with you. But then you start realizing it's the drugs. Like, it ain't somebody that, I don't know, it ain't the same person when they on drugs.
Right.
Right?
That's fair.
So that's the worst poverty stuff that I got. It was all because of drugs.
I mean, so for me, growing up, right? My mom had 2 kids. My mom was pregnant. Well, she had 1 kid and was pregnant with a second kid before she was 16. She had 2 kids by 17, right? One of my worst stories is when she was in an abusive relationship with my sister's dad. I'm 7 years older than my sister, right? So whatever age you want to use 3 and 10 or whatever.
Right.
I was in 6th grade, so I was like 12. So
12 and 5.
we're 12 and 5. My sister's dad used to beat the shit out of my mom, right? And my granny wanted to kill him. Straight up, my granny was like, I'm about to kill this motherfucker. But Rufus was like, no. We talked to her several times. Fucking, she need to make the decision when enough is enough, right? So, right hand to God, asked young Dro. He whooped my mom ass one night. I go in her room like I normally do. Because, you know, I was a sensitive motherfucker back then.
Ain't shit changed.
Fuck you.
Western problems.
I go in the room with her like, you okay? This time my mom was crying on the bed. My mom went to her drawer, got a pearl handle 22. Chrome pearl handle 22. I never forget this shit, right? So, I'm beside my mom on the porch. Young Dro is at the edge of the, it's like, can't even say the carport because we didn't have a carport. So, he was at the fence, right? We was at the fence with my homie Sean the Crip, Big Crip, BOS. What up, big dog? Fucking, I'm beside my mom. Mom, don't kill him. My mom let off motherfucking 8 shots. La, la, la. Shells hitting me, burning my skin. She hit this motherfucker in his leg after letting off 8 shots, shooting at him, right? And everybody takes off except for me and my brother because we like, oh shit, it's going down. She shoots him. He falls on his car and says, "Oh, this crazy bitch shot me." All our neighbors close their doors, go inside because they know he been beating on mom, right? That's the type of shit that I've seen growing up, like in Parkville. Like, oh shit, like, hey, it's time to get yours after this motherfucker got there so many times. Like, enough is enough.
And you can't save someone from their addiction,
right?
Because your mom was in it. That abusive relationship was an addiction. She had to know when it was enough.
Big facts.
My mom used to get it in. She used to get it from my pops. So, like, she would always say it was over dope money, or, you know, she would threaten to leave him or something like that. You know, they was on that back and forth crazy love shit, right? But I saw my mom getting choked out in the bathroom. I was like, this shit is so fucking mind blowing as a child.
This is mind blowing.
Cause you can't stop your dad.
Right.
Your dad is a superhero when you're a child. Like, that's the strongest motherfucker you know.
Big fact.
So 12, even at 12, like you say, 6th grade, you still don't have enough courage / body mass to take on a grown man. Like, you don't get that kind of courage to 15, 16 when them nuts drop.
When they drop, you start fucking.
So, I know what you're saying. My mom never had boyfriends around us until later.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, the one that she did bring around, though.
Hey, I swear to God, I heard the story like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times.
So,
he hated that nigga.
I hated this nigga. So, I met the dude. You know how you meet somebody and then they come back around, right? So, like, first met him when I was probably in 8th grade, right? Then my junior year of college, sophomore or junior year of college, now they're a couple.
What's up, Cleotis?
Right? All of a sudden, this nigga moves in. Right? My mom didn't work. That was when my mom first got cancer. So she wasn't working.
Fuck cancer.
But he moves in. I'm like, oh, well, shit. If he moving in, that means he going to be chipping in on these bills that I was paying. So, you know, this her house. I can't say this nigga can't move in, even though me and my brother's paying the bills, right? So he moves in. He on some. This nigga. I'm in college, right? Hold on. Go ahead.
Did you not see the face he just made?
Like, he just skipped. Like, he just got mad thinking.
Like, it still physically bothers him right now. Like,
yeah, you just saw that. Like, you had a physical reaction
to
what he said.
For this motherfucker, he has.
It was like this, like D bedrooms in the basement.
Okay.
But then like that would have been the bedroom, but this was our TV hangout room, right? So he comes down here, he's talking some shit. You know, we always kept jobs. We always kept money. We had our own cars, all this other shit. He said, y'all need some discipline. I'm going to teach y'all how to be men. I said, motherfucker, where your kid at? He had a son that was around, I don't know if he was my age, but I knew the dude was like a little younger than me. Because I had met him back the 5 years ago part, right?
Hey, I can see this motherfucker, where you selling that? I can see this nigga saying that shit. Like, big fact.
I'm grown at this point. Hey, I'm like 19 or 20.
This is the same motherfucker that when I was trying to discipline my kid, he slapped the shit out of me. He's like, hey, you doing it wrong. You gotta let him know it's coming. I'm like, what the fuck? Why the fuck you slap me in front of my son, bro?
So that was strike one, right? Strike two. This nigga not only has one car, he goes and gets a second car. This nigga's big as a house. He was built like a freezer.
Deep freezer.
A deep freezer. He was built like the double-sided deep freezer. This nigga had a Cadillac, and then he squeezed his ass into a
Corolla.
Something small like that.
No, back then, his phone was an escort.
It was something.
Retractable seatbelt.
Hey, I had that car. Now I had
spoiler.
So I had my Honda by then, but he had 2 cars, so he would take up the whole driveway. Right? So then come to find out he's not even paying no bills. So my mom is in foreclosure on this house. On the house we in. So I catch it up. Now I graduate. This is senior year. I catch it up in the summertime.
Shout out Foot Locker.
This is June.
Slinging Air Max 98s.
I had like 2 jobs. So I catch it up. My brother gone. That's when he was first about to get married. Right? So now September, she hadn't paid it since I paid it in June. Neither one of them did. So now it's like, well, fuck it. If you gonna let this motherfucker foreclose, fuck it. I'm going to my grandma's house. I went to my dad's mom's house. Which, hindsight, I wish I would have just bought that house, because then I would have had a house at 20.
Right.
With the house note was $522. So I would pay that shit, and I would still have like $300 a month, based off what I was making. But at 20, if I would have had a house then, that house is paid for 10 years ago at this point.
Nah, but you would have had like 3 kids in between now and then.
Fucking.
Dropping dick off.
So, house forecloses. They go their separate ways, right? So this nigga had another. He moves in with this other broad.
How'd you even keep tabs on this nigga?
I didn't keep tabs on him. I mean, I think somebody knew, and they told me that he had another girlfriend that he moved on, right?
He was plotting to kill him.
No, I was not.
Yeah.
No, but the nigga like challenged me one time talking about I don't do.
This part of the story I love right here. Here it goes.
He said something to the extent I don't even know what part I don't know what you think I'm gonna say. But we was in the basement and he told me something about I don't. What is it?
It was either like I don't think you respect me or you're not doing what you're supposed to do, some shit like that.
Something to the extent, and my mom is right there. So, he said I wasn't doing anything with my life. That's what it was. I said, motherfucker, I'm about to graduate college. You are double my age, and I've accomplished way more than you. Fuck off.
Hey, so
I called him out about everything. I was like, you came over here thinking you was going to be like this savior and, you was going to raise somebody. Fuck off of here. Like, you don't pay no bills. You over here leeching on my mom because you probably foreclosed on your house. Your fucking kid don't talk to you. You a piece of shit. You work at a factory. You're fucking 500 pounds. You eat 3 helpings of a normal sized person. Like, you kiss my ass, right?
Time out. We know Dub in the form Dub is, right?
So this is a much rawer form of him of just spitting venom. Just,
Oh, I was hot.
Like, he didn't know how to exactly channel his. He was just.
Yeah.
But you know how some of your partners tell stories like I can't see that. That shit bullshit. Nah, that's far fetched. I can see this shit though. I could visualize this shit verbatim. What he's saying, like I can see you saying this shit.
So my cousin is there at the time. My cousin that's 4 years older than me, the one I ended up living with for a while.
Okay. So
he was there and he was like, I was ready to jump on him, but nigga, you gave it to him, so I didn't say nothing. And at that point, that's when I realized that my mom was more afraid of being single and alone than to just kind of step up and be like, don't talk to my son like that. Goes back to the addiction thing, right? So fast forward, they break up. It's maybe 2 or 3 years later. I'm married or close to being at this point, right? So story
right now, ladies.
Story on the news breaks. Man shoots girlfriend in home. This motherfucker shot the new girl, the new lady in her house, sat there till her daughter got home and told her to leave or you next. But during my little speech when he said I wasn't accomplishing nothing in my life, I called him every pussy, fat fuck, ugly fat bastard, nasty motherfucker, like everything under the word. I said he was soft. I said he'll never touch my mama because I'd kill him. I said all this shit. So my cousin heard it, right? So my cousin's the first person to call me when the news break because everybody in the family talking about it. Like it was on Channel 5 type stuff. I get the call. He's like, hey, did you see that? Da-da-da. Apparently my first statement is, I told you that nigga wasn't shit.
But like you say, love is a drug though, right?
I think love, the fear of being alone, the fear of fitting in, like all these different things that people go through to conform, to try to be what quote unquote normal in society, is really killing them.
Go ahead. So I have two things with that, right? So one, my mom was addicted or really like involved with this married dude when I was in high school, right? This fuck ass nigga used to come to my mom's house and the door opened. He'd look at young Dro, oh hey mister, and call young Dro by his first name, right? Then he'd see my sister, oh hey baby girl.
And he look at you.
And he'd look at me and say, oh hey boy. Like, damn, did my daddy fuck your wife or something?
He
like,
probably did.
Hey, knowing stars, big stars, he probably did it, right? But he used to treat me like shit. I bust this motherfucking windows out my senior year in high school. I bust this windows out of this truck and all that shit. Me and my team, we bust that shit out. But my mom could never see that shit. Like, I would verbalize, like, look, I was like, hey, talk to me. My mom, he's just playing. He's joking around.
You can't play with a kid.
Right. You can't play. You can't play with the kid to that extent, to that where they feel like.
Not even to that extent. Like people, they make all these rules for white kids about how they, deserve all these chances and shit like that. Black kids deserve love like until they're 21 and
right.
25, not until they're 14 and they can get a job.
Hey.
Like our shit shouldn't be accelerated.
Exactly. I agree with you, right? So just like I went to, Baby Flacco parent teachers conference for a 3-year-old. What the fuck?
Yeah.
First and foremost. You had parents before me standing there motherfucker 30 to 40 minutes. I'm like, this is a 3-year-old, right? Like, we know these motherfuckers take naps, get up and run around. That's what the fucking 3-year-old do, right or wrong. So,
maybe makes you a macaroni necklace.
Right.
Or bracelet.
Yeah.
I get in there. She's like, I love Baby Flacco, this, that, and third. But he doesn't embrace you until he warms up to you.
So?
Motherfucker, that's how it's supposed to be. Like,
stranger danger, bitch.
Stranger danger, bitch. Right? Dead ass. Bitch was like, he doesn't embrace you until he warms up to you. Have you thought about, broadening his horizons? Like, what do you mean? He likes what he likes. Like, he likes to build things with blocks. He likes cars. But he doesn't try other things. Motherfucker. At home, if I pick out what he's going to wear, if he doesn't like it, he was like, no, I don't want to wear this. He's going to go in his closet and like, hey.
Grab a fireman hat, one boot, one tennis shoe, some underoos worn outside, goddamn tank top. Let's go, Dada.
Hey, Dada, I want to dress like Thor today, bitch. Okay, cool. Like,
go find your hammer, little motherfucker.
Right. What the fuck do you want?
Your hammer's over there.
He's 3 years old. What the fuck do you want? She's like, oh, but he is Mr. Independent. Exactly, bitch. I don't want him to conform to nothing. I don't want my son to be like, oh, it's all right for this priest to touch me. No, motherfucker, that's wrong. Period.
I think you hit on something very good there because it reaffirms what I've thought for a while, like what I feel with kids, especially
with your child, Mr. Nonconformity.
Right.
Yeah, but that
and me going 8 for 10.
Yeah, true. But it's just that whole thing. Like my theory on being a dad is, no matter what we do, for as long as we possibly can, make sure he has that childlike confidence.
Right.
To me, that's the best thing I heard. Like, you tell him, he's like, no, this is what you gonna do. Because as teachers, I feel that fuck with kids' development because why don't you broaden his horizon? Like, if
they want you to be on their horizon.
Exactly. Like, and this ain't the thing. If little Flacco is 12 years old and says, I'm gonna be Spider-Man, you gonna be Spider-Man. Like, that's what you gonna do.
Wait, not 12. He might be fucking weird at 12.
No, but even you're not gonna make him conform.
He can be who he is, but he also deserves the right, and I deserve anybody who can roast him to say, "Hey, little weird motherfucker, go put on some Vans."
No,
you say that now, but he's 13 years old. He develops a web formula, and he webs your ass up.
Hey.
Like, yes, my son webbed Dub up. Yes, he did.
And I'm still gonna say, get the little weird motherfucker away from me.
Hey, get me down. Cut me down. Hey,
You get me down here, I'm gonna bust your ass. You better run.
No, but I think as fathers, that's our thing. We got to make sure they have that unadulterated
Confidence.
Confidence forever.
Like,
As long as you can. Like you said, you got to love them to the 25. Like, yeah, you absolutely right. Like, for some reason, as black men, like, all of a sudden, when we're growing up, you're a man at 13 or 14, and you get treated different.
We don't know no difference, though.
I think it's because we try to harden our boys for the real world, which we also have to do.
Right.
True.
It's a real fucked up, delicate line balancing act of you're 13, you're just starting to realize, if you like ass or titties, but we also have to realize that we constantly have to reaffirm that our kids are different. You're going to be different to the world. You're going to be different to, any and everybody you come in contact with in a professional or social light in general.
Case in point, what did me and you and Vanilla talk about this past week, right? When she was in a car accident.
Oh, right.
She was in so someone I work with, one of my coworkers, we call her Vanilla, not because she's white, but she doesn't have a lot of worldly experience, right?
She's in the bubble.
Right, she's in the bubble. She was in a car accident. Boom. She got rear-ended by this guy, which caused her to rear-end a young black boy. 16-year-old kid, right? Boom. Hits him. Dude that hit her goes off on this tangent talking about, this how it went down. That nigger was in the wrong. Not nigger, but nigger. That nigger was in the wrong. He cut you off. This was going to tell the cops. She was like, no, I'm going to tell the cops exactly what happened. Right? But then she comes to me when we was talking about everything that happened. She was like, I don't feel comfortable talking to you about this. I was like, why? She's like, because you're black. So let me know what happened. Tell me what happened. She tells me, she was like, the fear that I have is he was 16. He was in the right. He had his blinker on. The dude behind me hit me, caused me to hit him. My son is 3 years younger than him. I would never have to have that conversation with my son that someone would have to have with him. I was like, exactly.
But this the whole, and what I was telling her is, hey, this is the time to have the conversation because we're your only black friends. Like, I'm not her friend. I just happened to show up where you was at.
Bro, we're the only black people that she really rocks with like that.
I met her once. I mean, we not friends. We're associates.
Okay.
But
she's my friend.
She's your friend. But I was telling her, look, if you can't talk to about us, you can't go home to your children and talk to them so they know what's right. Like, because there was the video of, not the one where the little black kid got beat up, like bloody for picking up a phone, but there was one where a cop was trying to like put a black kid in handcuffs and the white kid was all in the cop face. Like, no, he didn't do shit. Get off my boy. Right. Da, da, da. Like, I need them white boys in my kids' lives. Like, I don't need the white boy that's going to run away or just record. I need the motherfucker like, no, fuck that. He didn't do nothing. I'm calling my fucking daddy. Like, I want that kind of support. So that's the kind of allies we need, goddammit, white folks.
Dear white folks.
Dear white people.
You're 100% right. That's the type of allies we need
because at that point, that's when we're gonna have some changes.
Right, Big Mike. Big Mike is my ally like that. Big Mike was my boss in a previous,
I met him at a thing over here.
Right, he was my boss at a previous, facility I worked at.
Didn't his wife sing at a cover band or some shit?
Nah, that was the other dude.
This is the other dude.
Okay.
This is predating him, right? So, they'll know the story. So the first time I hung out with Big Mike, right? Like I'm like, all right, it's kind of weird for me to hang out with my boss. I'm hanging out with Big Mike, and we go out, and this is I was trying to holler at some chicks that didn't look like me. He's like, oh y'all racist, y'all ain't give my boy the time of day because he's black. Woo. So then we meet up with these guys that worked in Dub's department. One of the guys worked in Dub's department, right? We meet up with the dude that worked in Dub's department, Uncle. He's like, come out with us. Cool. We hop in my truck, we driving, and the uncle's like, yeah, fuck these niggers. Hey, he good, that boy right there that's driving, that's my nigger, he alright. Not nigger, but nigger. Like, he's alright nigger. I'm like, oh. You know what I did at that moment? Because I'm like, okay.
Pull him the fuck over.
No, I ain't pull over. Dub knows this. When I had my one-strap backpack.
He reached for the backpack.
Hey, that one-strap backpack was with me. I had that pistol in that bitch. I reached back there to get the pistol out. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to kill this motherfucker or shoot him, right? Big Mike already had the pistol out. Pointed at the back of the seat, at the back of this motherfucker head. It's like, I got it.
Mike with the shits.
Hey, Mike was with the shit. Mike was about to risk everything at that moment. Like, I'm not saying you have to go to that extreme, but you have to have friends that understand your struggle.
You have to have friends that are willing to go there if it gets there.
Right.
Like, we've been in situations where, okay, I'm either going to jail, I'm gonna get stomped out, or I'm just gonna go home real fucked up tonight. Like, there's some situations that this motherfucker will put you in that will test your friendship.
Oh, by that motherfucker, he means me. And I'm the first to admit. When it comes to my loyalties, nothing breaks me, Dub. My loyalty towards Dub, right? Because I've been on the east side. You know about the east side, right? I've been on the east side when I've been in sticky situations where I could die, where they was trying to really plot on me to kill me type shit. I was with Dub. He diffused those situations.
We was on Kasuth. We was on fucking State Streets. We was on the east side. Everywhere.
Like
Delmar, he almost got me killed.
Renee's, right outside of Renee's. We was there, like, he never, his loyalty never wavered or however you want to say it.
It's wavered.
Wavered.
Wave season.
Do-rag.
Like, he never switched up on me, right? You know what he told me? Every time, like, hey, bro, you got to chill out. Like, it was always, you got to chill out. Like, hey, you can't move like that around here type shit. Like, literally, anybody else, I don't give a fuck who you were. If you're not from this cloth that we built from, you would have folded on me. You was like, hey, nah, bro, you too wild. Because I've done it in my past life where, like, yeah, these niggas, he or she too wild, I can't be fucked with, I can't rock with them. He never wavered on me. He never folded on me. He was like, hey, bro, you can't be moving like that out here. And make it full circle, back to that conversation we had when we was all like, when I was like, fuck that, you disrespected me as a man. When we was at his crib, remember? Like, the heated conversation we was talking about earlier. That's where all that shit was coming from. Like, you disrespected me as a man, but on the flip side, I know it ain't that deep. You know what I mean?
W the real MVP.
He's like the 6th man of the year.
I'm just mad he ain't had no poverty crackhead stories like we got.
I have some stories where I was letting y'all go. I mean,
how the fuck you have a poverty the crackhead story when you had two siblings in the Ivy League. They went to the Ivy League schools.
Because he was the fuck up kid if he didn't go.
Damn. Oh, you went to Fun Bunny, so you was a black sheep?
Fine, fine.
Dub knows.
Did that make you feel inferior that your brothers and
Oh, gave me the biggest chip on my shoulder. But like,
so you went to St. Louis Community College?
and they were like, oh, like if it was us, we only a year or two apart. You
I'm
know,
competing with adults. Like, I'm trying to put my like.
he could see these motherfuckers with money.
Yeah,
That's the
like,
part that would have fucked with me.
Right.
Yeah, like but you knew. I mean, you and I have had them conversations about our fathers. So like, you talk about fucked up story. Like certain situations I was in that were fucked up. I didn't realize.
Yeah, don't tell none of them stories. That shit's too heavy for the podcast.
Is it?
Motherfucker, yes.
Hey, can we
But
talk about
one
that
six.
Yeah, y'all can. I've heard it, but
One like
we talking about that.
give us a watered down one. Cause your shit was over the top. Cause this is, and I'll say that to say this, like, you competing with the adults, and your parents were older, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you saw money early.
Yeah, and then it's funny you say that because like even to talk to my mom about it or my siblings, like it's a tale of two cities. To hear like before I was born, how much money there was, how much influence my father had in the black community just in general, and then when I'm born 3 years later, it's 180. It's
Shout out to his pops for marrying a black woman too.
Okay. I don't know your pop. Your pop still alive?
No. His pops died when I met him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his was dying. So that's why I like.
God, that shit was.
That hurt, huh?
That shit was dark and dirty.
And we both short,
No
darker
glove-
than everybody.
No gloves on.
Yeah, like we just.
Hey, facts though. Like, you meet people
For
for
a reason.
a reason.
Hey,
Yeah.
Nah, fuck it. That's this motherfucker's patent saying, hey, every time I get on some sentimental zero type shit, I've been drinking, I've been smoking, I'm like, hey, I love you.
Is that Beyonce?
Hey,
I've been drinking.
Hey,
I've been thinking.
hold on, do I not? I'm at
No,
this
he
motherfucker-
do.
I might text this motherfucker like, hey, I love you because of XYZ, or hey, bro, I just want you to know I love you. He hit me with, you know what I mean? Oh, you on some zero type shit, or okay, you on some light skin type shit,
DJ Envy.
right?
That's his way of saying he loves you back.
I'll say I love you, bro.
Hey, no, you don't.
I do. It's in there somewhere.
No, you would say, no, this is what you say. I swear to God, right hand to God, God strikes me down if I'm lying. He hit you with this. Hey, you meet people for a reason, B.
We met at the perfect time of both of our lives. We met when we needed to. You meet people because you need them in your life.
You need them to get you through a certain journey.
You know what's weird though? Because I was diagnosed with adjustment disorder. Everybody has that shit, or whatever you want to call this shit, right?
No, you're very socially awkward.
No, it has nothing to do with this.
I hope it is, because that would confirm your behavior.
Anyway, right? So this motherfucker, you know what I mean? Anytime anything goes on, this motherfucker will be Joe Cool and shit like that. When his pop died, I know I told this shit several times, right? I told my girl at the time, I was like, look, hey, if my nigga called, my dog called, his dad just died, I gotta go, right? This motherfucker's Mr. Frugal.
His favorite story of all time.
Mr. Frugal, right? So this nigga hit me up like, hey, let's go to the shaker joint, let's go to the strip club, whatever you want to say at the time. I look at my girl, hey, I gotta go. Where you going? It's such and such time of night. I said, hey, Dub called.
It wasn't that late.
I said, Dub called. He said, strip club. Oh, okay. It's a strip club. You know what I mean? Pay the $10 cover charge, get in. I'm already geek, but low key, I'm like, okay, shit. Am I supposed to show them I'm sad? Or be geek? Because, I love strip clubs. It's like, shit. I'm playing off this nigga. Get to the bar. I was like, hey, let me get 4 Hennessy's and Sprites. That's what we was on back then. Head dog and Sprite. This motherfucker look at me. Calm as fuck. Fuck that. Get the bar. My eyes be big. Because He's not to get the bottom type. Me, C. Murder, we get the bottom type. Am I lying?
FCC.
FCC, am I lying?
No.
Hey.
Me and Big C have responsibilities.
Hey, quick tangent. Fuck FCC because there's always a competition. If you say get the bottle, hey, he's get the bottle. Hey, let me get the bottle. If I get a bottle, he'll get another bottle.
They be having bottle wars.
Hey, bottle fucking world wars. You know what I mean? Leave a club with motherfucking $900 bottle tabs and shit. Like, god damn, bro. Like, I just came here for a couple of drinks and fun with my fellas. My
bill be $62.
Right. Nah, hey, what happened when it was
and you questioned it too. You like, you sure this is all me?
No, it's 62 about right.
What happened when it was Rich Homie C birthday and Cello was like, nah, I want to get this drink. And you was like, nah, he got it.
Ed Markey?
Yeah.
He's gonna get a bottle. Don't worry about it.
I told him to get a bottle. He's like, no, his drink's on me. I was like, no.
Seller don't drink.
Right.
So, his thing is, I can buy you a drink.
Right.
It's like, don't worry about it, Seller.
He's like, no, Flacco got it.
Shout out to White Chocolate.
No, I got it. He's like, no, Flacco got it.
His favorite story is I bought a bottle of Henny at the strip club.
Fuck that. It was like, get the bottle. I was like, what? She was like, what you want to do? He said, get the bottle. What you want to do? I said, what you want to do? He's like, get the bottle. She was like, what do you want to do? I said, bitch, you heard her. Get the bottle. Shit. Get the bottle out of that bottle.
I laughed so hard. I said, bitch, get the bottle. Hurry up. Before he changes his mind. And the night ended how all of our nights ended. Him sleep in the strip club.
Hey, but guess what? That was one of the first nights that started our Father's Day tradition.
It's true. That's true. Coming up 6 weeks out, Father's Day tradition.
Hey, no, fuck that. You're going to be a part of it too, did it through 1-4.
I've already laid the foundation.
No, you ain't laid the foundation.
No, I'm just like, look, I'm saying not that bad. It's just what I'm
doing. Bro,
take off Monday.
Take off Monday.
That is true.
No
true words have ever been said.
Nigga, motherfucker, you don't understand. I was fucking crucified.
His second favorite story. Because he came back to life that day.
Is
this when you had to go to the brunch and shit?
Yes.
I've heard of this.
Bro, I was passing the Christ.
Did you see the pictures?
On the sidewalk. I was on the sidewalk.
No. I've heard the story.
Nigga.
I've heard the story.
I was on the sidewalk and looked like I was Jesus on a crucifix, bro. Like, arms flared out.
In Olivet.
Olivet on the sidewalk.
The one day Olivet police is nowhere to be found.
Hey, Jay's on like a white tee type shit or gray tee, whatever.
It was white. It ended up being gray.
Bruh.
I don't know. That was a great night.
That was a great night. I slept for like 16 hours.
You left, went to a brunch, came back. You were like, he's not dead because he barely, like, his leg moved or something.
You don't understand. Like, my back was on the fucking floor, right?
I gave him the Herb Dean.
Right.
His arm got
He hit me and I rolled a
in wrestling, the third one.
Bruh, like that shit was lovely. Like, hey, they know. Old ladies know that shit. Father's Day, dude. Hey, Mother's Day, y'all get all the flowers, all the food cooked, the barbecues. We love you thank you for being strong black women or strong women, whatever. Shit, Father's Day. Yeah.
Turn up.
Bitch, you might get cheated on.
Black men don't cheat.
Black men don't cheat. This has been the Get Therapy episode of Country Cousins because we laid out some things to basically say addiction is real, but addiction starts within you. You have to be able to control all your fears. You got to be able to control your vices and take control of your own destiny. I don't know how deep that got. I was just trying to make one.
Love yourself. Most importantly, love yourself.
I was trying to have a Derrick Jackson moment.
Yeah.
Derrick Jackson. Hey, FYI, speaking of Derrick Jackson, if you listen to him, guess what? He's trying to get in your draws. He got more holes than Hugh Hefner had.
It's been another week of Country Cousins. Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment, Thank you, and goodbye.